Hello, Lobo fans. Welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with the men's basketball coach at New Mexico, Richard Patino. Coach Patino, great to be with you. And I'll start with this. You guys extended a conference road winning streak to 4 games, something that hadn't been done since 2013, 2014. Your team has kind of become the road warriors.
Yeah, I mean, I think our poise, and certainly we'll talk about it, but I even thought in the kind of the belly of the beast, whether it was at Nevada or at San Diego State, like we didn't look rattled by all the noise. Sometimes that's having older players on the court, but we're starting to get everybody's best shot, which we want to be a player in this league, and that's obviously that. You're going to get better crowds. You're going to get, more, enthusiasm all around, and I think our guys really have handled it well. So to be able to get one of the two on that road trip, we felt it would be hard, and all these games are hard, but to be able to get that Nevada one really, really helped us.
Coach, talking about the 2-game road swing, Reno, San Diego, a win over Nevada, a loss to San Diego State. Boy, Coach, I've never seen it like this. 11 years now as the voice of the Lobos. The Mountain West Conference is just bunched up right now. You guys are just 1 game out of first place, but it feels like half the league is within a game of first place, or a game and a half. It's impressive. It shows how deep and the quality of the league, but it's going to be tough here down the stretch.
Yeah, no doubt, and it'll start to separate itself a little bit, I think, in the next 2 weeks. But you're sitting right now. I mean, the leader's got 4 losses. We've got 5. I think you're seeing there is stability in a lot of these programs, whether it's San Diego State. I mean, they've had 2 coaches the last 30-something years. Boise State, Leon's been there for a while. Nico's been there for a good amount of time. You look at Utah State, they've consistently been a player in this league for a while. We've kind of had the most volatile trajectory over the last 10, 15 years, to where my whole goal is to continue to progress. But there's great opportunities in front of you, quality wins, whether it's quad 1s, quad 2s. And that's what you want in the end. Is you want, the top's always been really good. I think now the middle towards the bottom is what's been really, really good.
Some news: the Lobos' outstanding freshman, JT Toppin, for the 8th time, the Mountain West Freshman of the Week. Just a couple of years ago, Tyson Degenhardt of Boise State did it 9 times. He's in some heady company there. He's just playing one of the best players in the league, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he is. Now, there's a lot of good players in the league, but I don't know how he's not a top 10, top 15 player in the league, not so much freshman. He is extremely productive. He's rebounding the ball at a high level. He's shooting the ball at a high percentage in the upper 50s. And he's, like we all know, he's just a freshman. So he's a guy, I think, if he really, really gets selfish about his success and is totally committed in the offseason, he can make a huge jump freshman to sophomore year.
We say just a freshman. He certainly doesn't play like it, Coach. And you said it, everybody's getting older. You have a guy who's 18 years old who's standing tall against some of the biggest, toughest bigs in the league. How is he doing it? Because it's so impressive. Yeah,
I mean, I think he's got a competitive spirit to him that you may not know, because he's kind of a mild-mannered, soft-spoken kid. But he's ready to fight. I mean, it's at San Diego State. He's getting these rebounds that you don't think he has any chance of getting. And Ladie is big and strong, and they're always big and strong and older. But he's just not scared of the moment. And I think his disposition sometimes helps him because he doesn't get too high or too low with anything. And he's got a way to score in the post that we really need.
Well, one of the things that Coach has talked about, that JT Toppin mostly gets what he gets, broken plays, offensive rebounds, because of his toughness, things like that. We're starting to see you guys get him some post touches, and you told me he needs to demand those post touches.
Yeah, he's got to get a little more physical posting up. We had a crucial turnover at the end. Now, Donovan threw it at a bad angle, but we ran a set for him to kind of come off, set a down screen, then turn and post up, and he's got to have the ball. Ledee, now he's a fifth-year senior or whatever, but you look at the way he posts up. He's getting fouls. He's getting offensive fouls. I mean, he's posting them so hard. But and I think that'll be JT's progress to go along with his perimeter skills, of course, but is to demand that ball throughout flow, throughout sets. Because, like I said, I mean, when you're shooting 57%, like we've got to, and he's second or third on the team in shots, so he's getting a decent amount of shots, but we got to continue to get him the ball.
The big win over Nevada on the road, going into the game, Jamal Mashburn Jr. was coming off a poor shooting night. He came through for you in the clutch. And Coach, you talked about the noise, the social media noise that he had to deal with, and these young people are tuned into it. He obviously responded well, but that can make it hard on a player, isn't it?
Yeah, it can make it hard on everybody. I mean, and it's not just our fan base, so I hope it could be 5 people. You know, it's like, that's how stupid we all are that we continue to reference, oh, did you hear what they said on Twitter? And it's like 2 or 3 people. It's like, who cares? But that's what young people go through. You have children, I have children, and that is the balance of it all is, to me, I would say ignore it, but they live in it, you know, and it's a hard world because that mob of people who post online get everybody. They get everybody. It doesn't matter if it's Bill Belichick, the greatest coach in football, or Michael Jordan, or Kevin Durant. Everybody's going to get attacked when you have a bad game. And for our fan base, they care, but I don't read any of it. You know, I block it all out because I just know what it is. I always tell the guys, like, we're all characters in a play. They don't really know you. They don't know what you're all about. And it's a small minority of actual people doing it.
Mashburn hit 2 massive shots at the end of the win over Nevada. That's the first tape that we break down with the coach. Next on your Lobo Coaches Show. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the men's basketball coach at New Mexico, Richard Patino. It's time to get into highlights of the Lobos at Nevada from the Lawler Center in Reno. And a really good atmosphere and a great battle with the Wolfpack.
It was a great game. It was fun to be a part of. Credit Nevada, they were ready to go. Their fans were extremely loud. I mean, that was a tough environment. And I just thought it came down to we made 1 or 2 more plays than they did. You know, it was a great response for our guys. You know, we've gone this far, which is great, without losing 2 in a row, which is really a testament to the guys. But they made some terrific plays down the stretch.
It was a back-and-forth game. You guys were able to extend the lead. They would come back on you. You talked about their environment. It wasn't a sellout, but you said it. A couple times it looked like they were going to blow the roof off the place. I thought Jamal Baker Jr. hit a couple of massive threes. We saw one there from the corner.
He played really well. True came off the bench. I mean, we built 10-point leads with those guys in the game, you know, and that's the key more than anything is being ready off the bench. Really good pass from Nelly off the high post. Jalen with a really good cut as well.
There's the wing 3 from Baker. High arc, too. Like, he's able to shoot over those taller wings.
Yo, he could shoot over Yao Ming with the arc that he shoots with. I mean, he really shoots a high arcing shot.
Jalen House coming off a little ball screen there, and then here's your guy on the block. This was a terrific performance by Nelly Jr. Joseph.
He played great. Yeah, he played great. Did a lot of good things. There's JT on that pocket pass that's been so very good to us. You know, but Nelly, just his activity defensively, he does so many little things.
He defended the pocket pass perfectly right there.
Very well, yep. And then nice driving kick. That's what we're trying to find of those catch and shoot threes.
This is something that I feel like Jalen House is doing more this year. He's really using the pull-up in the mid-range, not just the 3 and getting to the rim.
Yeah, he's not real good at getting to the rim, honestly, and that's not a knock on him. But, you know, Donovan is a great finisher around the rim, where Mash and House are probably better mid-range shooters. So that's fine. You know, knock it down. He practices it every day, and he's definitely more comfortable with it just because of the size factor of down low.
Nevada got some big threes from McIntosh and Coleman and Lucas as they made their run. What about the way you guys guarded the Wolfpack in this game?
Yeah, did a great job. Got stops when we needed to. You know, I mean, I think when you moderately control the game the whole time, you know, you got to be able to defend on the road. We defended, we rebounded the ball well. You know, we really played the right way. We battled our butts off.
You saw Amsil hit a 3 there from the wing. We've talked about what he has done for you in Mountain West Conference play. And he showed it again, like we'll see it against San Diego State, even asked to guard the post, but he's shown his versatility. And then there's another putback from JT Toppin.
Yeah, we got to get him those post touches off those ball screens. I mean, we do a lot of what we call flow, which is ball screen duck-ins, and great opportunities to throw down low there. Donovan had back-to-back possessions there where they were really physical with him. He wasn't able to take care of the ball.
How about the way you guys guarded Blackshear in this game?
Thought pretty good. Yeah, I mean, he's a tough cover, and especially when you have smaller guards. That's why we want to put some big guys on him. Mustafa just quietly is battling his butt off. He's given us a lot. I mean, that's what we brought him here to do, and he's doing a great job of it.
And you wouldn't expect that he'd be the guy delivering offensive rebounds, but he's extended possessions for you guys.
Yeah, he's actually been pretty good there. He's battling, and he's just in the mix, in the fight. And look at JT and him, both doing a great job of getting us extra possessions.
This is fun too when you guys can get a 3-on-2. It doesn't always end with a 3, but here there's JT crashing the offensive glass. True Washington.
Well, when you shoot a decent amount of threes, and not that we shoot a bunch of them, those are your best opportunities for offensive rebounds. So you've got to crash the glass.
Dent doing what he does. Have you had a better finisher?
No, he's as good as it gets. He wasn't great for San Diego State, but that's why he's shooting. You don't normally have guards shooting 50-something%, but because he's getting the bulk of it at the rim, that's the highest percentage shot.
As they made their run here in the second half, what did they start to do better to get back in this game after you had that double-digit lead?
I think they just converted off some of our misses and got out on the break and let the building, take over. So you're not going to blow out teams by 30 points on the road, but I think we thought they'd have a counter punch. They did. Lucas makes some tough shots, and then Davison, I think, is a really improved player in our league, and he's really good around the basket. Great 3 by Mustafa there. That was a huge shot.
Fearless shot at that time in the game, and you guys are just trading blows here down the stretch. There's Davidson at the rim.
Yeah, it was like we talked about him. I thought it was a really good basketball game. Back and forth. They made plays. We made plays. Coming down the court here, we get to the end of the clock here, and just big bucket. Then they come down. They make a big bucket. House has got to stop doing that. That's back-to-back games. He keeps fouling a shooter, and he thinks he's being slick, and he's not.
So they get the 2 free throws, and then this one contested over a 6'6" guard in Blackshear. What a shot.
Huge shot. We got to come down with the rebound here. Now, we were obviously gave them one there, and then the last play, same thing happened. They just ran out of time, but we wanted to get the ball up the court quick. Donovan makes a great pass. Mash has great spacing into drift and knocks down the shot.
You're telling me that you were not able to get this drift like you've been wanting to, but it worked perfectly on that possession.
We've been working on it. I mean, our guards have a tendency to want to call for the ball a little bit where they space better and played without the ball, and open shots will find you.
You got Jamal Baker Jr. into this game at this time specifically so he could be on Keenan Blackshear at the finish. Everybody remembers what happened at the end of a game in the pit last season. What about Baker's defense there on their outstanding point guard?
Yeah, he did a great job. They ran the same exact play they got us on last year. We switched it last year, which we did not want to do. We wanted Javante on him with a little bit more length, similar to Baker. This one was executed a little bit better than last year, and we were able to get the win.
Let's take a look at that play from last year in the pit. This is exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah, we didn't want to switch that there, and Mash confidently switched it, but that's not what we wanted to do. Tough shot, though. I mean, that's a tough 2 right there at the buzzer.
It hits every part of the rim. You can see Blackshear got a little bit deeper, maybe a 12, 13-footer. As we look at the play in the game in Reno last week, it was a little bit different scenario. It looked like they tried to get the switch there, but they didn't get the switch this time around, and you were able to keep Jamal Baker Jr. on Blackshear.
Yeah, they probably set a better screen last year. Lucas kind of slipped out of it, but we didn't want to switch either time. Last year we didn't want to switch, and then this year we didn't want to switch either.
You were talking about getting that defensive rebound. That was a little bit scary there at the end. They were able to knock it around, but they didn't get that last shot off. I want to ask about your philosophy in that scenario. There was time on the clock. They ran a bunch of clock before they took the shot to try to win the game. Did it surprise you how deep they took it down toward the end?
Well, it didn't because they did it last year. I think sometimes on the road, I'd maybe try to get the last shot, see if you can get a win and get out of there. Not to tell Coach Alford how to coach. I probably would have wanted a little bit more time because they did get the offensive rebound. They ran out of it. But hindsight's obviously 2020. I think I'd go a tad earlier just to give myself an opportunity if we do miss to go foul or get an offensive rebound.
Yeah, and if you can get that foul, then you extend the game. You'll have another possession at least if they make 2 free throws to tie the game with the 3.
If they make it, though, nobody says a word about it because we didn't get a chance to come back. So those are just the million different decisions all these coaches have to make. And if it works, everybody thinks you're smart. If it doesn't, everybody thinks you don't know what you're doing.
Well, and it worked a year ago in the pit. Didn't work this season in Reno. Okay, time for a break. We come back on the other side. The Lobos are at San Diego State next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the men's basketball coach at New Mexico, Richard Patino. The Lobos with their first sweep of the Nevada Wolfpack in 8 years, and New Mexico now goes to San Diego State to take on the Aztecs in Viejas Arena. And again, a sellout in Viejas. This was an unbelievable night in San Diego.
Heck of an environment, and I think, as I said earlier, like that's a testament to what we're building. Where we're starting to get people's attention when we come on the road, and they were ready to go. We did a lot of good things. We cut it to 3, we cut it to 4, but we just didn't have enough punch to pull away. I don't know how intelligent we were down the stretch, and I think that burnt us.
You've talked about competitive discipline, and in particular on the defensive end, in terms of being smarter down the stretch in this game. What are you talking about there?
Turning the ball over. Yeah, we had some crucial turnovers. Jalen had one. He just handed it to Butler on the break, which I'm sure we'll see. But again, I think they haven't lost a game there in 2 years besides us. It was a really, really tough place to play. And as I said before, I thought it would be an overwhelming success if we won one of those, and we were able to do that.
You got the split, had a chance at a sweep of these 2 road games, and as you pointed out, you were right there in the second half, cutting the deficit to as low as 3 points at one point. The work that JT Toppin did again in this contest against this front court, he just impresses me every time out, Coach.
Well, if you see a ball screen right there, they just switched the ball screen and put Trammell on Sebastian. Now, I know Sebastian's not a big low post threat, but the ball has got to go down low. And we get in the second half when they put a guard on our bigs. And even Powell was in foul trouble. Ledee does not want to foul. Ledee wants to stay in the game. So there, we kept talking to our guys, but we got to go inside, we got to go inside. And I think our guys got a little bit, when they saw a switch, they thought, okay, we got to go make a play as a guard, where that's a good play by House. He can make that shot, but we need to go inside more.
Take advantage of the switch down low. They certainly were able to get the foul calls for Ledee down low. He made it very difficult on your front court. Just great physical play?
He's a hard guy to officiate. I've made the comparison that he reminds me of Zach Edey, and I think it's more and more similar. He's not as tall, obviously, but he's probably going to get an offensive foul like he did on his post-ups once or twice a game, and you got to Mustafa battled his butt off through it. Because he is super physical down there.
Is there something that Nelly could have done better in terms of guarding down there to not get in foul trouble early in the game?
He gets everybody in foul trouble, he did a better job at our place. It's naturally always going to be a little bit different on the road. This is the play I was talking about. If you're going to put a guard who is at Lamont Butler
Yes.
on JT, you got to throw it inside. And we cut it to 3. We had several possessions. Turnover here. Killed us, and I know Jalen obviously understands that. They cut it to 5. Then we go down low. I think we get an offensive rebound right here, and then we chip away again, and just we're not able to execute. Donovan missed a lot at the basket, which he's normally been great at. We cut it to 6. We're right here, and then Nelly gives up a 3. Unnecessary. So I just thought we just were not quite disciplined enough to go get this win. I thought we played hard. We wanted to win. We battled. But you got to be just a lot more intelligent on the road than we were.
With those 2 threes that Saunders made, one of their bigs, is that just knowing the scouting report, which guys are the shooters?
Well, he's not a great shooter, Saunders, so it wasn't just Nelly wasn't quite alert, and then we got screwed up. Jalen overhelped, and he knocked down, he went on an 8-0 run himself.
Yep, he made 2 threes, then he had a dunk in transition, and those 8 points that he scored were crucial in the final run where San Diego State wins. But you get a split with them, and I think going into any season, you split with San Diego State, you feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I mean, they have been the most consistent player at the top of this league for the last 20-something years. That's what we're trying to build here. You'd love to sweep everybody. That's hard to do. We fortunately got them by 18 at our place. They got us by 11 at their place, and who knows what the future holds if you meet them again in the conference tournament. But we know they're a terrific team.
All right, we're going to come back on the other side of the timeout and close out this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. We're back to close out this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with the men's basketball coach at New Mexico, Richard Patino. Coach, after the win against Nevada, you were 20-5. First time this team has done that in 10 years. What a great start with the non-conference play for your team and through the first 2/3 of your conference schedule. This team's been really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't lost 2 in a row. We've obviously got some great wins. We're 1 game out of first place. We're top 25 in all the metrics. So I try to remind myself what we came here, what we inherited. We're really progressing at a really good rate.
So you've got a home week, big one with Colorado State on a Wednesday night, Saturday, 2 o'clock in the Pit. Both of these home games, you've got Colorado State and Air Force. I know it's a crucial week here down the stretch.
Can't wait. Got to finish it out strong.
For Richard Patino, Lobo head coach, I'm Robert Portnoy. So long, everybody, and go Lobos.